you guys know about the elderly woman that was found?
Oh my God, that was horrifying. That was horrifying.
Gavin, do you know anything about it?
No.
Roger, police.
Yes, this is Howard Leisure. My aunt lives on Portage Street, and a friend of ours stopped over there yesterday to check on her, and she was nowhere to be found.
A 98-year-old woman died after she was reported missing yesterday. Police said she was found in a hidden location in her house.
And I believe that he planned to kill numerous people and used my aunt as a warm-up, so to speak, for those other killings.
Why did I lie about anything? That was stupid.
This is 17-year-old Gavon Ramsay, brought in for interrogation after he was apprehended for the murder of 98-year-old Margaret Douglas. What the detectives were unaware of at the time was that they are sitting in front of a monster with morbid fantasies about killing and R-wording innocent people. Margaret Mary Frick Douglas was born on September 15, 1919 in Akron, Ohio. She was the second oldest of 4 children in her family and was described by many as a generous yet independent person. After World War II ended, Margaret married her soulmate Donald Douglas and relocated to Wadsworth, Ohio. The couple had opted to not have children of their own, so Wadsworth, being a small and safe suburban town with a close-knit community, was the perfect setting for them. The couple was constantly surrounded by loved ones ranging from family members to friendly neighbors. However, despite having this support, Margaret never depended on anyone for most tasks, neither after the passing of Donald nor into her elderly years. As a result of her perseverance, she was proud of her 98-year-old self and was eagerly looking forward to turning 100 years old. Unfortunately for Margaret, these dreams of hers would soon be crushed by a tragic and brutal murder which left this once safe town in an utmost state of shock.
Roger, police.
Yes, this is Howard Leisure. My aunt lives on Portage Street,
Okay.
and a friend of ours stopped over there yesterday to check on her, and she was nowhere to be found. We didn't know if you found anybody wandering.
No, we don't have any reports of anybody wandering.
We can't find her in the house anywhere. He went in the house and looked through the whole house, couldn't find her.
Did she live there by herself?
She lives there by herself, yes.
What's her name?
Margaret Douglas.
Police in Medina County have a mystery on their hands. They're trying to figure out how a 98-year-old woman died after she was reported missing yesterday. Police said she was found in a hidden location in her house.
Wadsworth police say 98-year-old Margaret Douglas was reported missing by an out-of-town relative yesterday. Police searched her home but didn't find her and said there were no obvious signs of foul play. But then police said they went back to the house last night and found her body in a hidden location.
It's very heartbreaking. She's 98 years old. Who has any business taking her from this earth after that rich a life? It makes no sense, if that's what happened.
Upon investigation of the body, the officers took note of several findings. The innocent woman's nightgown had been fully unbuttoned, revealing her torn underwear. Her neck and face were covered with several marks indicating that she was sexually assaulted and strangled with the perpetrator's bare hands. At first, the police struggled to find a prime suspect as most leads led them to dead ends. That was until they received several complaints regarding petty crimes that were coincidentally taking place in the vicinity of Margaret's house. One in particular stood out. A man named Paul began to speak with a young man on a dating app called Grindr. Later on, the two met up in Paul's call to know each other a little better. During the meeting, the young man became suddenly enraged, pushed Paul out of the car, and drove off with his belongings. At the time, all that was known about the suspect was that he had quote-unquote blue eyes. A few days later, the police were notified of 2 young men running around parking lots. Not long after, they broke into a construction site and made the foolish mistake of losing one of their cell phones. The phone belonged to a teen named Zach, who was later identified and questioned. He claimed that he never intentionally wanted to carry out these thefts and that they were actually insisted on by his partner in crime, Gavon Ramsay. Gavon was a 17-year-old blue-eyed boy who possessed a long record of petty crimes in the local area. Consequently, he was brought into interrogation with the company of his mother and was questioned regarding the break-ins. This interrogation has been analyzed by a forensic psychiatry doctor at the University of Rosenberg in Germany. Having in mind all details regarding this crime, we are dealing with the type of person in forensic psychology known as psychopathy. Psychopathy is characterized by continuous antisocial behavior, impulsivity, selfishness, callousness, unemotional traits, and remorselessness. As can be seen in later videos, in Gavon's case, his strong psychopathy is mixed with sadism and sexual perversions, such as necrophilia.
You just want to tell us what you guys were doing and what was happening that night? You're 17, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we snuck out. Well, I snuck out. He's 18. So we were just walking around. He didn't even drive. Like, we just walked.
Oh, he walked from his house in Euclid?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
And then we met up at Durling, and we weren't really doing anything. Then we went over to the church and climbed on top. And then we went, like, into the courtyard, but that's all we did.
Now, you did more. Unfortunately, you guys have left behind some very telling items. Okay? If we're going to get to the bottom of this, let's just make it the truth all at once. Let's deal with it and get it done.
You're 17.
Yeah. You're a kid, so you're not looking at as much trouble as.
And I'm sponge in the future.
Braden. Yeah.
You turn 18, it's over.
Gavin, we've had some really serious things happen in your neighborhood and in that area. Okay. We had a carjacking.
Oh my God.
And the suspect is a young white male with a nice complexion and blue eyes. Is that you?
No, it's not me. I wouldn't know the first thing about jacking a car.
Well, it's a little more to the story, but, you know, you didn't take anybody's car?
No.
Have you ever used an app called Grindr?
No.
How do you feel about gay people?
I'm not gay.
Oh, well, that's okay. But they don't bother you?
No, nobody bothers me.
Okay. I'm just, you know, some of the victims of these crimes are gay, and I didn't know if it was
A hate crime kind of thing.
Right. They're being victimized only because of their sexual orientation. So we're here, so I'm just going to ask them.
Right. Oh,
it's going to be straightforward, you know. There's no reason for me to fluff anything up.
Nope.
And I'm sure you guys know about the elderly woman that was found.
Oh my God, that was horrifying. That was horrifying. It is horrifying.
Did you know her at all?
No, other than just to see her out, like on a porch. That actually makes me want to cry. Like, how do you get to be 98 years old? Nobody lives to be 98. It's so rare. And someone else thought that was okay. Like, how does that, I don't know. Like, why does your life end like that?
Gavin, do you know anything about it?
No. Honestly, probably 5 or 6 people.
That you talked to? Is that what you're saying? Is there something else you need to tell us? What's upsetting you so much?
Nothing.
I've been doing this for a little while, and I have a whole gaggle of children of my own, ranging from the age of 26 all the way down to 10, so I'm pretty good with this stuff.
The investigator here is stressing her maternal role, even sharing details of her own personal life. Although it is unusual for police investigators to reveal their private lives to suspects for security reasons, the investigator is playing this game to secure the trust of the suspected person and potentially open up further interrogation regarding the murder case. Let's take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, June's Journey. Imagine stepping back into the roaring 1920s where glamour meets mystery. June's Journey invites you to explore this dazzling era as you follow June Parker on her quest to solve her sister's murder and uncover buried family secrets. With each scene, you are pulled deeper into a story that will keep you on the edge of your seat. What I love about this game is the challenge of spotting hidden objects in this beautifully designed world. It's not just a game, it is an escape to a different time, and it tests your detective skills at every turn. Piecing together those puzzles is very satisfying. For those who like a personal touch, you can also customize and enhance your own virtual mansion and garden. It's a satisfying break from the intense detective work, giving you a space to express yourself creatively. June's Journey is free to download, and it's available on Android, iOS, and even on your PC through Facebook Games. Support the villains and click the link below or scan the QR code on screen to start your own journey into mystery with June's Journey.
I asked, did you get put in a bad situation? Did somebody put you in a bad situation?
No.
No.
Yeah, let's look at it this way. Honesty is always what's best.
I'm not holding anything back. Like,
You've already gotten yourself in trouble, so.
I know, and I don't even. I don't know what to say.
Is there more? Because you know it all
No,
comes out.
It's not that there's anything more. It's what the fuck, dude.
What if I always told you kids, what happens in the dark comes out in the light? That's the way it works. You mess up, you get caught. You make bad choices, you're going to pay for it. So if there's something else, let's get it all out on the table so that we know what we're dealing with.
At this point, Gavon's mom changed her restrained attitude, taking the side of the police, which is a very typical role for adults when it comes to the misbehavior of their children. However, what she does not know is the terrifying truth of what her child did.
It's not anything else. It's, I don't know, I'm mad at myself. I'm so mad at myself.
What are you so mad at yourself for?
I was 16 and already had a fucking felony and like 5 misdemeanors, and now I'm gonna be in more trouble. I have to go back to court, and I'm done with it. I'm so done with it.
That's fair enough.
Like, honestly, I don't even want to live at home anymore. I don't know. I'm not fucking normal. I need to live somewhere else. Like, if, I don't know, some halfway house or something, I honestly would not care.
Why would you want to live in a halfway house? What is so wrong about living at home?
No, but there's nothing that they do. It's me. Like, everything I'm putting them through, I'm costing them thousands of dollars. Constant heartbreak. I've honestly probably never made either of them proud. I don't do anything fucking good.
Stop cussing.
It's a word.
Well, it's disrespectful.
So you're upset with yourself?
Yeah, I hate myself. That's really it.
You know, the suspicious death of the elderly woman is there too.
God, I know.
That's why I'm saying, you know, I can't imagine you doing something like that. Just interacting with you this little bit, I can't imagine that's in your wheelhouse.
No.
But, you know, if we would come to find out that you're not being honest about something that, you know, puts you back on the list of people to take a look at.
Right.
You know, so it's a serious situation. That's why I want to make sure.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Generally, you know, detectives don't get involved in.
We knew when we saw that BCI because it was literally facing my office window and it was blinding in the house. And I was like, at first I was like, that looks like a trash truck, but that's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when that gets called in, you know. And then I get all scared. I'm like, oh my God, I have all my porch lights on now at night. I have stranger danger issues.
Do you notice anything?
Honestly, can you two actually leave for a second?
What's that?
Can you two actually leave? So I can talk to her.
Yeah.
Is that okay with you?
Sure.
This is the turning point of this part of the conversation, since Gavon decided to quote-unquote reveal the truth. It seems the tactics applied by the investigator earlier, playing a motherly role with full understanding and care, may yield results.
Carjacking, it was me, I'm gonna be honest about it, but the way that he explained it, that guy, that's not right.
We may suspect that he requested his mom and the other police to leave the room so he could have more control over the situation. Since the investigator showed maternal care for him, he decided to play that card, which may explain why he continues to cry.
That grinder thing, yeah, I have been on it. And this guy was like the first time that this happened, and I told him like I was 17 and everything, and I wasn't planning on doing anything with him. It's not my style. I was just like, he's a 40-year-old man trying to get with a 17-year-old, so I was just gonna rob him. It's still messed up, but against what he's doing, I don't really think it is. And then the whole carjacking thing, I never even left Overlook. I literally, I got in, and he's like, what, should we go to the back seat? I'm like, yeah, sure. So he got out. I sit and locked the doors, and hopped in the driver's seat and just drove around, messed with him, and then I left.
So then you got out and left?
Yeah, I didn't damage the car. I didn't.
Well, we knew it was there, when he finally went somewhere to get a phone, and we knew there was something more to the story that he wasn't telling us.
Yeah, I didn't damage any of the stuff. I just,
Do you have his wallet?
No, that's, because I kept asking him, I cracked the window of the car, because he walked up, doors were locked and everything. I'm like, where's your wallet? And he's like, I don't have it. So then, I opened his glove box and all that. And I'm like, well, show me your pockets. And he's like, I don't have it, but can I have my phone? I'm like, no. And then I turned and he tried to grab the window and break it. And then I gassed it and he walked, and that's when he left Overlook. And then I went up to where the dumpsters are, where that white van is? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's where I left the car, and I just went out. And then the only reason I knew what he was saying is because I heard sirens and stuff. I'm like, that guy's not just gonna leave. Why would you leave your car and phone and everything? And then I downloaded the 5.0 radio, and I was listening, and he said the kid was trying to get a ride to Elm Street, and he came up to my car asking for a ride. Looks like he was in distress or something, and that's not what happened.
Yeah. Why were you on that app?
Really, just for that reason, to find guys that are that low of people, I guess.
That want to get with kids.
Mm-hmm. It's karma, really. If you're gonna do that, then I'm gonna rob you.
And you told him how?
I was 17.
You told him you were 17? What was his response to that?
He was okay. He was down to meet. So that's when I decided I was just going to take his money and leave.
Did he touch you at all? Did you touch him at all?
No.
Now, where were you at in the car?
I got into the front seat, the front passenger, and then, whenever, I didn't even have the door really closed yet, my foot was still out, just precautions, I guess, if I needed to run. And he was like, should you go in the back seat to do this? And I'm like, yeah. And then he got out, and I pulled my door closed after he shut his, and I locked it, and then he was locked out of the car.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all of it.
You didn't hurt that old lady, did you?
No, and that's what I was pissed about earlier.
What were you pissed about?
there's actually people accusing me of killing the girl. And that's, like, I said some dark stuff and everything. And, like, I don't know, people know, like, I'm a dark person, I guess, but, like, I'm not gonna go kill somebody.
The term dark personality is often used in psychology to explain individuals with psychopathic traits and tendencies towards manipulation.
It's not like that. But people have heard that, they're like, oh, you killed her, didn't you? I really feel like you did. I'm like, no, I didn't.
So people are saying it?
Yeah, and it's making me really mad. It really is.
Did you know her?
No, her neighbor, the old couple, I used to do like yard work and stuff for him, and I think I tried to for her one time, but she said she had like nephews and grandsons that come over and do it for her.
Have you ever been in her house?
No, as far as I've been is on her front porch because I knocked on her door.
How long ago was that?
Oh, that was years. That was probably like 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's no reason that we would find your DNA inside her house because we swabbed the hell out of that house.
You shouldn't.
Okay. I mean, if you've never been in there, then obviously we wouldn't. But, I mean, you name it. We swabbed it. We took it. I'm sure you know we were there all night.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have the results back, and we won't have them back for a while, but do you know anybody that would do something like that?
No, the only person I know that's probably crazy enough to do anything like that is Hugh. He works at Marie's, but I feel like he's more bark than he is bite.
Gavin is trying to blame the other person to divert attention from himself.
Because, like, when I first got hired at Marie's, people were like, I don't mess with you and everything. And I mean, that's the first thing that I did.
Is that his real name?
Yeah, Hugh Young, I'm pretty sure. And
where do you live?
I don't even know. I found his Facebook the other day.
Does it say Hugh Young?
Well, it says Hugh D. Young, but in it looks way different because he's got just a goatee, clean shaven. Now he looks like he's actually kind of crazy.
What do you think should happen to somebody that does that?
To kill someone?
Kills a 98-year-old woman. Yeah.
I don't know. I think eye for an eye is the best way to go. That's how I look at things. Is eye for an eye.
And your DNA is already on file? I mean, if it makes you feel better, I will give them your name and let them know your DNA is on file, and they can rule you out. Okay, when we get a DNA profile. Would that help you?
I mean, what, for like the lady?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that doesn't bother me.
Well, I think it bothers you that people are accusing you of it.
Yeah, it does, but I don't know. Like, people are still gonna say it. It makes me mad because that many people have said it, but I haven't really heard it since. Like, it was only the first couple of days since it happened, but I haven't. So, I mean, you can if you want. It doesn't really matter to me.
Well, I think if we get a profile that doesn't match up to anything we've submitted, that they run it through the computer system, and the computer system runs it against all that they've collected from people who've been in trouble in the past. So that's how it usually works. So it would probably get passed over anyway. So.
But the detectives went on a hunch, and they confiscated his phone with the permission of his mother. Unfortunately for her, she had no idea of the disturbing person her son had turned into. In a secret app titled Dark, which was secured by the passcode Murder, Gavin stored multiple videos that he captured in the early morning hours of April 6, 2018, when he carried out this heinous crime. He broke into Margaret's house through a back door and watched her as she slept on the couch. Suddenly, Margaret woke up with a worried look plastered on her face, so he lunged at her and strangled her to death. He spent the next few hours pursuing his sickening desires using Margaret's lifeless body. Gavin's face was not seen in these videos. However, there were several times his hand, covered in a glove, was seen. He would then go on to make a grave mistake of leaving behind a glove, which was found with Margaret's DNA on the outside and his on the inside. The police were now certain they knew the perpetrator who callously murdered this innocent elderly woman. They requested Gavin to return for a second round of interrogation. However, when Gavin came back into the interrogation, he began to act in a very disturbing way. Assuming that this second interrogation may turn out very bad for him, Gavin decided to apply much stronger tactics in his quote-unquote defense. This time, he maximizes the mental pain he's trying to show by lying on the floor, demonstrating someone who is in real suffering.
You sure I can't get you a drink? I know telling me about it doesn't give you much relief.
Just change the fact that it ruined my life.
Gavin's defensive reaction, crying and falling to the floor upon being brought into interrogation without prior knowledge of the reasons, speaks volumes. It strongly suggested that he anticipated this and knew what was about to transpire, indicating his guilt in the heinous crime.
Did you go to school the next morning after this?
I don't think we were even back in school.
Oh, during spring break, you're right.
I think so.
And you didn't take anything from the house? Like I said before, it doesn't make a difference either way.
I mean, what other crime can I commit that would really matter at this point?
No, the family just specifically asked me about the wallet, so that's the only reason I'm asking about that, okay?
Feel more comfortable laying down then? Do you want to take these off of you for a bit?
That's up to you guys.
Do you mind?
I don't mind. I'm not worried about
A
you.
little bit more comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Can we get some of them off of us?
Gavin, what happened to Margaret's underwear?
Her.
All right?
There was a bit of an altercation. Like she wasn't up, whatever she was going through.
So did you kind of wrestle with her then?
A little bit. Like it was off the couch.
On the floor? And her underwear got torn then?
Yeah, we got ripped.
Gavin claims that Margaret's underwear got torn during an altercation. However, this was a lie. It was torn by him when he sexually assaulted the helpless woman. This was proved by the state of the body when it was discovered, and the disturbing app on his phone that captured him doing so.
So when she died, was she on the couch or on the floor?
Floor.
Were you on top of her then?
Kind of.
Like straddling her?
Yeah.
And did you use one hand or both?
Both.
Did you squeeze it or push her against the floor or both?
Both.
you don't remember if she was bleeding at that point?
Well, I mean, the only reason I can think of bleeding is when I put my hand over her mouth.
So when you were holding her hand over her mouth, you might have pushed too hard and maybe made her nose bleed.
Yeah.
Noticing that Gavin started to open up about his crime, the second investigator decided to change his body position from a chair to the floor, aligning himself with Gavin's posture. The investigator accepted the approach and allowed Gavin to continue talking. The main investigator had been using this tactic from the very beginning.
So, were you in her house for a little while before you woke her up?
I mean, I came up onto the porch, and I didn't even know what I was going to do. And I looked in the window and everything. I don't know, I felt like going into a house is like the biggest adrenaline rush I could get, I guess. So then I tried the doorknob and that just happened to be unlocked.
Was it the front door or back door?
Or back door.
Okay. So you went into the kitchen?
Was like the TV on or something? When you went in?
I don't think so.
Headed up to the house, you didn't hear it or something, maybe it's something.
Well, she was already asleep whenever I went in, because when I came around the corner, that's where I saw her, and it scared me. Because I didn't expect to see someone right there, because I didn't hear anything. So I came in, I opened the door, and I just listened. And then I didn't hear anything, so maybe nobody's home. And then I go to walk around that corner, and I'm still going slow, but I see her, and she's, I don't know, sleeping or something. And then I go to turn around and hit the chair, and it made a noise, and she woke up.
And she started to scream at that point, you said?
Yeah, because, when I hit the chair, I, turned back around, and I looked, and she was there staring at me and started to yell. And then went for the phone. She already knew what it looked like.
We were trying to get that when she went for the phone, is that when you were trying to get the phone away from her so she couldn't call? Did you knock that out of the way, or is that what you guys thought with the phone?
It was a little bit of a fight, I think. I think I threw it under the couch. I'm not really sure.
You guys ended up on the floor at that point?
Yeah, I don't even know where the phone went.
When you say you guys were on the floor, her gown, the floor.
Yeah, because she was still.
Well, her underwear, I guess.
I don't even know if she was wearing underwear.
Okay.
Because when she was on the couch, she grabbed the phone and everything. It was still yelling, and I don't know if she dialed anything yet or not, but I just didn't know what to do, and then that happened. By the time I even realized what I was doing, it was too late to stop anything.
And when you realized that's when you were on the floor on top of her with your hands on her and stuff. That's when.
Gavin states that Margaret was awakened from her sleep by the commotion he caused when he hit a chair. However, this wasn't true, but Gavin was certain that the detectives would buy his lie. He is soon to find out that the detectives thought otherwise.
Yeah, there's a couple of videos of you kind of peeking over the edge of the couch and videotaping her. Well, when was that all done?
That was on the same night. Why did I lie about anything? That was stupid.
Okay. So you went in the house earlier?
No, I never went to the house before, but I went in, and I was being quiet and everything. And how it happened, I wasn't lying about that, but I did, I turned the corner and did see her.
And you hid?
Yeah, then I hid, and I was taking my phone. I was taking pictures to see if she was awake.
I got you.
And then
she saw you?
we stood up and she saw me.
Did your flash go off on your phone?
I don't think so.
So from there, is that did you tell us the truth about the rest of that? So how long do you think you were in the house before you woke her up?
I don't know, probably like 10, 15 minutes.
And then from the time you woke her up to the time you ended up on top of her, choking her, how long did that whole part take?
That was probably like 5 minutes.
So pretty quick. She tries to get the phone, you try and stop her. You guys struggle to the floor and you end up on top of her with your hands on her neck. And you're pushing and squeezing. You have your hand over her mouth at the same time?
Well, my hand on her mouth was on the couch.
Okay.
And then, I don't know, rolled or something off the couch.
Was she like fighting back with you then, trying to struggle, and then you guys went down?
Yeah. I think on her way down is when we got ripped.
But you don't remember ripping her panties? How long did you stay there before you put her in the closet?
That was probably like 30 minutes. I just kind of sat there and I didn't know like what was going on. Like I was so in shock from it, I guess. And then I checked my phone and it said it was like 4 something, and I knew my mom had to get up at 5 for work.
Immediately, he regrets deceiving the police. One would even think that he would avoid doing so in the future. However, when questioned by the detective about the duration he spent in the house, he falsely claims it was only 30 minutes. Yet, the timestamps on the videos from his phone revealed that he was inside the house for several hours, once again proving his dishonesty.
Was there any adrenaline with that? No.
It was like adrenaline and shock at the same time. So like, 1 second I'm like, I don't know, adrenaline.
You know, and the next thing you know, it's like
with
overload.
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So what did you do with your gloves when you left?
I threw those away
Where at?
in the trash can.
At home. Because there's a glove there. Could you have dropped one?
There was a glove there. I guess I did drop one then.
There was purple stuff on it. What was the purple stuff that was on there? I get it, that there's a whole piece of this that you don't understand why you do, okay? I understand the whole sexual piece that you don't understand. And I get that. Did the purple stuff have to do with the whole sexual piece that you don't understand why you do? No. And is that the same time that you were taking some of those pictures?
Yeah, and after I took those pictures, I was like, what?
That's when the shock set in?
Yeah, it's like, what am I doing?
So it was adrenaline all the way up until then. And then the whole shock took over the overload. Is that right?
It sounds right.
I know. It's hard. Confusing.
While it's true that Gavon may have faced difficult circumstances from a young age, it doesn't justify his actions. However, he seemed to believe that attributing his behavior to a quote-unquote adrenaline rush and emphasizing his mental health struggles may help him evade or mitigate the consequences.
She may have asked this, but did you mean to hurt Margaret like that?
No. No.
Or was it just the shock?
The shock.
started doing it, and by the time you realized that she had died, it was too late.
What else I could do?
Is that why you punched the wall at the school? Is that main frustration? How did that chunk out of your hand? You don't say it hurts.
Sorry, I think I broke my hand or my pinky. I didn't even care. I was just mad because I finished my test in math, and then I saw a text from that said the cops had my phone. I'm like, great. And then Miss rings. I'm like, that's for me, I guarantee it. I'm looking at her, and she looks at me, and she, like, go to the office. I'm like, great.
That's for the break-in type stuff at the school, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool, I thought.
Yeah, the church, yeah, sorry.
Did you guys go in the church? No. You didn't set off the alarm clock, nothing with the windows?
Yeah. Like,
Were you going to go into the church before the alarm went off?
I don't really know what we were going to do at the church. I didn't even hear the alarms go off. He's like, dude, the alarms are going off. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I listened. I'm like, we should probably go. And we did.
Did you feel weird going out and like given some cars are trying to break that place, knowing what you've already been through in Margaret's house? That seems strange. Or just kind of like the thought of the past thought. Because it's over, you can't change it.
Was it less of an adrenaline rush?
Yeah. It wasn't.
Was there that same adrenaline when you were on top of Margaret? Did you have that same adrenaline?
That was,
feeling? Or was it a little bit different?
well, like, that and going to break into cars.
Yeah.
I mean, cars is like that quick fix. It's just that, you know what, when you go to open the door handle, it's like, is the alarm going to go off? Is someone going to come outside? So it's like, there's that risk. And then, the whole breaking into the house, that was the adrenaline part. I think, I don't know, I didn't even have a grip on reality whenever I did that. What do you think's even going to happen with me?
I think you're going to go to juvenile detention. And you're going to do some time in jail.
How long do you think?
I don't know. I just don't know, Gavin. But I do know that your mom absolutely loves you, and you are a huge part of her world. And she needs you to be here.
That's what I'm most upset about.
But I want you to remember that. I don't want you to forget that, okay? You can't.
I don't, like, it's the only thing that's kept me going. My mom.
She seems like a pretty fantastic lady.
She is.
And she loves you more than anything, so if anybody can get you through this and get you what you need to fix whatever's going on with you, it's your mom.
But that's the thing. I don't know if this can be fixed. Because it doesn't feel like it's some regular emotion. This feels like it's natural, and I don't want it to be. I don't.
Anything can be fixed. Yeah.
I wasn't blowing smoke when I told you you were a nice kid. You know, you seem like a super nice kid. There's got to be something that, you know, that's making all this happen for you, right?
Probably, but I don't know what.
So you're kind of fixing that now, don't you think?
No, that's made it a whole lot worse.
That's a big weight to be carrying around, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of monkey on your back that you've been toting. And now you're not toting it anymore. Now you get to heal.
You never told your counselor about any of the thoughts that you have?
I did a lot, and she didn't. She started with trying to treat the depression first, and it wasn't working for a little bit. I still tried to kill myself, but I didn't.
No, it's not right.
No, I didn't. I don't care what happens to me. Like, honestly, I don't. It's what happened. Like, what would it do to my mom? If, like, I killed myself and that my mom said she couldn't go another day if I died. I'm not gonna kill myself because of that.
So it's more for her, not for you.
Yeah, I don't care about me. I don't.
You do. People care about you.
Other people might, but I just.
It's because you're dealing with so much. That's why you don't. Deep down, you still do. Because people that truly don't anymore, they don't want to do it. You have the heart. That's why.
The night you were out at Margaret's, had you drank or smoked anything? Done any that night?
No, that I was actually sober that night, which is another reason why I smoke weed and I drink, because I can't handle myself when I'm sober, or I can't like comprehend. I don't even know the word to use. My thoughts when I'm sober are dark. When I'm high, they're like good thoughts.
Had you ever thought about harming anybody before or taking someone's life before?
Not like planning it out, but like, oh, I'm so mad I can kill someone right now. Like that kind of thing.
But you never imagined yourself actually doing it?
No, I could never vision myself.
Like, wonder what would you did.
I couldn't, like, I don't know, like some stuff you think about yourself in that situation, like, yeah, I could see that. And then, like, I think about a car crash or something, me dying in a car crash, I'd be like, yeah, I see that. Something else that doesn't necessarily involve me dying, or even like me being injured. Like, yeah, but I think about me killing someone, I'm like, I can't see that. I can't.
Gavon claimed he couldn't fathom harming anyone, yet his actions contradict his words. When he assaulted Margaret, he was sober and admitted he couldn't stop himself once he started. This statement was further proven wrong by the discovery of a journal in his room filled with daily entries fantasizing about the works of serial killers, particularly Ted Bundy. One of these journal entries stated that he wanted to beat a person repeatedly until they could not breathe anymore, and he wanted to know what it felt like to stand over a dead person.
If she was here, what would you say to her?
Like, what do you mean?
If she was here alive in front of you, what would you say to her?
I'm sorry. That was never meant to happen. If I could take it back, I would.
This statement can persuade one to assume that Gavon is feeling remorseful towards what he did. However, what he says next suggests otherwise.
I'll be honest, this Saturday, like, just 5 days from now, I was gone. I was leaving.
You're gonna run?
Because the only reason I didn't yesterday, because I knew my mom just took out my money for my insurance, and I knew my insurance doubled, so I had like no money. I just needed gas money to get somewhere, and I didn't care what happened. I don't know, I think I was headed down towards like Tennessee, and keep going down through there.
You knew that this was gonna come out?
At some point. And I knew if I left, there'd be no coming back ever. And that's, I don't know, I kept having that thought every time I felt like I was ready to actually leave. I'm like, well, I literally can't ever talk to my family again if I leave.
Well, Gavin, I'm glad it's going to stop here. I'm glad this didn't go any further. Because I don't know that you would have been able to change on your own.
No, I wouldn't. And I don't know, I had a pretty clear picture of what the next year looked like if I ran.
Unfortunately, I think you would have hurt more people. Was that in your plan?
I mean, that wasn't in my plan, but I could see that happening. But all I could see was me dead if I ran.
Think we're ready to move along here?
Yeah, can I use the restroom?
Yeah, we'll get you. I'll start take you out. Okay. Any more of that?
Can just leave this.
On January 3rd, 2019, Gavon Ramsay went on to receive a life sentence without the possibility of parole for the aggravated murder of Margaret Douglas. Additionally, he was sentenced to 10 years in prison for each of the following charges: aggravated burglary, kidnapping, and abuse of a corpse. For the family of Margaret, they were overjoyed upon receiving the maximum justice that they could receive for their loved one. Or so it seemed. Just 3 years after Gavon's sentence, a bill was introduced to the Ohio Supreme Court that allowed a person tried for any crime under the age of 18 to be eligible for parole after serving 25 to 35 years of their original sentence. Once again, a big thank you to today's sponsor, June's Journey. Make sure to check out their game. Link is down in the description.